All right, well, good morning, everybody. As it turns out, today's not going to be that bad of a day. So here I am outside, ready to get to work. First thing, we don't have much wind today at all. The leaves and everything aren't, the needles and stuff aren't moving at all. So I'm going to utilize this opportunity to drop this big pine that's down here behind cabin 1. So again, this is the one I've got to drop in between a couple of oak trees that I want to keep up. So it's really going to be just a matter of how many limbs end up getting broken off on those oak trees. You know, I want to minimize that as much as I can, but it's going to happen. It just is. The pine tree is tall enough to where it's going to hit those oak trees on the way down. So just kind of how it is. So we'll get you all set up here, and then well, let me orientate you to what you're going to see. Hold on. Okay, so from this distance here, this is the pine tree here that's going to come down. Okay, and then there's this oak tree here, and then this one over here. So it's got to go right down in between those two there. And then, as you can see up there, as this one falls away from us here, it's going to clip some of these limbs. I mean, I really have a small degree that I can really drop this in, maybe just a couple degrees, and yeah, you know, I'm gonna minimize it as best I can. We'll kind of see how it goes. So let me set you guys up. Let me get my stuff over there and get ready, and then we'll go from there. Well, that fell exactly, almost exactly where I wanted it to go. A little problem with the cut, I left a little too much holding wood, which is why I was having trouble driving it over with those wedges. But here, I'll show you. So this is how the holding wood actually looked here. I had driven these wedges in as far as they could go. But I had, it's actually a really good cut. This is maybe only 3 inches or so of holding wood, and it's pretty symmetrical the whole way across. So I ended up having, because my wedges were pinned in the back, I had to come in the front here and just kind of take a little more of the face cut back, and that was I only took off maybe, you can probably see, about a 1/2 inch or so. And then that's all the tree needed to kind of lean over. So let's take a look at where things ended up here. I can get this to spin around. Really good drop. I wanted to get it to the right of this bendy oak right here. And I guess if I play with the camera angle, I can say, yes, it was perfect. But it's just about right on, and but that's fine. Let's go down here. I didn't quite know the height of the tree. So yeah, this was great. This was absolutely great. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better than this. So did take out a little bit of a side of a tree here, but that is fine. Most of this brush over here, we're gonna destroy all that, brush pile, things like that. So that is great. That was a big headache I've kind of been putting off, really just because of its location to cabin 1 right here. And you know, I'm not the best sawyer, to say the least. So let me get this. This is good wood too. This is good yellow pine, and we're gonna use this on the mill. So this will make up some of the cabins that you all will be staying in. So anyway, let me get this bucked up and get the limbs off, and we'll go from there. Well, I just got done bucking that bucking that pine up down there, and I got 6 sections that were 10 foot 6 inches long, and the upper portion of it, you know, it's probably going to be firewood, stuff like that, where it's broken stuff. So I would say, based on what I saw, it's somewhere between 75 and 85 feet tall. So that was a nice drop. So it's got quite a few board feet in there we're going to be able to use. So I'm going to walk around here and check out some of these other trees and see what's next on the chopping list. Pretty good tear out on this one here. A pretty good lean to it downhill. You can see here, I mean, I've got 4 or 5 inches of holding wood still on there, and that tore it out without a problem. This tear out here on this side really kind of went up the tree. That's no good, because I want to use that wood. So we're gonna have to, we'll figure that out once we get it on the mill. But fell right in a great spot, so plenty of room to work with. A lot of limbs to get off of this one, and couple kinks in it here. I'll get this limbed up and I'll show you a little bit later. This one is definitely kind of squirrely. I got those limbs off of here. You can definitely see how squirrely this trunk was here. Again, pretty straight up to this point here, where that is a crazy looking, I guess you'd call that a burl. I'd normally expect to see that coming off the side of the tree. I would just assume at some point in the tree's life there was something catastrophic that happened that made it grow like that. But then again, further down there, whoop, little thing, and it dips over again. So I may have a section out of here I'll be able to use. Maybe a little bit right in there. But once you get beyond that other little, I don't know if you can see it real well from there, but here you can definitely see that little bump out and everything. So probably up to there I'll be able to use most of this. But after that, it's going to be firewood. Just wanted to give you a closer look at this really mangled part that really wasn't too far off the ground, maybe about 20 feet or so. So it is really kind of twisted and kind of banged up, and I hope it shows up on the video about how kind of gnarled up this is. So like I said, I don't know what happened in this tree's life, but it definitely something. So, but I think this would make, I'm definitely going to put that on a mill and cut some slabs out of it to see, maybe make a cool looking kind of tabletop or something for under the pavilion or something here. So we'll see. We won't know until we get into it, but that kind of artsy stuff, you know me, I'm Mr. Artsy, so that type of artsy stuff is going to have to wait until I get a lot of the construction done. This is definitely not top of the list, so, but we'll take a look at it. I'll put it off to the side up there where I'm going to stack all the wood, and someday we'll see. All right, guys, welcome to the nighttime edition of What Can Todd Do in the Dark. So it's pretty dark out. The spotlight on the driveway here has really helped me out the last half hour or so. So I was just out here just kind of putting some more of the mill together. So I've got the carriage pretty much assembled here. There's a lot more to go on it. Again, this will lift this will lift right off. We should be able to we may be able to pick this up and move it, just the carriage itself, and then the bed and the rails. So this just slides. So that's where the engine sits and the band wheels and stuff, you know, right up in there. And it right now it rolls really well. It's not level. Everything's still kind of hand tight on the rails and everything. So that's where I'm at. But again, it was just another, you know, 500 nuts and bolts to kind of put this thing together. And again, it's all steel. It's heavy as all hell. So this will be an adventure. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out on the nighttime edition of what the hell Todd's going to get into today. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one.